That was our one opportunity to catch me. I'll tell you that right now. Because I'm Ghost. We're Ghost like Recon, baby. We are Ghost like Recon. Oh, it's over, man. Ain't nobody catching this. Bro. Just destroyed. What is up, everybody? Bobby here, the Nintendo Guru, and today we're going to play some Mario Kart 8. We're going to have some fun with that. I'm also going to try something, we'll see. I don't know if I'm going to try something different, but I want to talk about some stuff. I want to talk about my favorite indie games. Gary Gray from Nintendo Village and Nintendo Dads reached out to me on Twitter and was like, hey man, what are your top 5 indie games on the Switch? And I kind of wanted to discuss that, and I figure we will through the stream throughout tonight while we play some Mario Kart and I get mad and I get all fired up and all that good stuff. Man, indie games. What great indie games are there out there? There's a lot of really, really great indie games that we're going to discuss probably and talk about tonight. But, you know, I kind of want to go through some ones that are not so much my indie games of all time, or my top 5 on the Switch. I want to talk about, some honorable mentions before I jump into my list, because there are a bunch of them out there that I think are fantastic. So, real quick, let me get set up here. Let me take this hat off. Let me grab my headset. We're ready to start playing some Mario Kart and such, right? Okay. So, look. Indie games, I think indie games are pretty fantastic, right? I think that's a thing that we all can agree on. And when asked about what my all-time favorite or my top 5 on the Switch are, I kind of started going through the list and trying to figure out, what do I like, what don't I like, and all this stuff. And, I came up with a bunch of honorable mentions, and I feel like those are ones that I should definitely start off with. And just hit them out of the way and kind of push them through and not really spend a whole lot of time on those games. But Broforce is a good game. I originally got this on the PS4 when it came out on the PS4. It was like a kickback, a love, or a throwback to 80s films. I loved it. Rambo is in it, and Schwarzenegger and all that stuff. So it was a really cool, fun game. Hyper Light Drifter is a fantastic game. I think a lot of people slept on this game, and you should really get your hands on it if you can. Katana Zero was another good game. Had that kind of rewind aspect to it. It was a lot of fun. Blossom Tales, if you're a fan of top-down Zelda, this is a must-have game. Hands down, must-have. So well written. The storyline is so fantastic. So charming. So much love put into this game. I think that is another one that you should get. Flipping Death. Flipping Death, there's only one reason you should get Flipping Death, and that's because I'm in that game. My actual face and image is in that game. I am a ghost figure on the wall, portrait on the wall. So you definitely want to go check that out. Seriously. Hollow Knight, fantastic game. What can be said about Hollow Knight that hasn't already been said? Such a good game. Really, really strong contender. I love the atmosphere, the art style. Everything about that game is so, so good. Another great indie game, obviously, is Celeste. You know what I mean? I think this is probably on a lot of people's top 5 lists for the Switch. It's not on my top 5 list, but it's definitely my honorable mention. I think it's a fantastic game. Last 2 games on my honorable mentions before I get into my my top 5 games are The Messenger. I think The Messenger is a fantastic game. And also Hob. Hob is so good, dude. If you like Zelda games, Hob is where it's at. Seriously. I love it. Did we just take it? Did we just take it, people? I think we just took it. I think we just took it. Woo! That's what's up. Let's see. Top 5 indie games of all time on the Switch. Ugh. Alright, number 1. Well, we're going to go backwards. 5 to 1. I guess that's the easiest way to do it, right? So the first one would be Rive. don't know if you guys have played this game. Really, really good. From the guys that made Toki Tori and such. Such a good game. It's basically a twin stick type thing. You're playing. You're in like a go-kart type thing, like a tank type thing, and you're like driving all over. It's so crazy. Like you could die like that, and you're back into the game instantly. It is so good, so fantastic. Probably one of the most underrated, best indie games on the Switch. I love it so much. You gotta go check it out if you can. Okay, I got a communication error. That's good, Nintendo. Thank you. Okay, so number 4 favorite indie game on the Switch, Golf Story. I think Golf Story is such a well done game, and the fact of like you're playing this game and you're thinking to yourself like, how do you make an RPG game that's a golf game? And you're used to like when you beat people up, you grow experience and stuff like that. Like you kill people, you get experience in golf or in RPGs. But in this one, it's just like by accomplishing trick shots and winning matches and all this stuff. Like it goes nuts. Like it blows it up. And I did not expect when I saw this game get announced in the initial Nindies Direct that it would like take over and be as big as it was. Seriously, crushed it and killed it. Like it is so amazing how good this game is. If you don't have it, first off, if you don't have it, you're definitely not on Twitter with Donnie Reese, because Donnie Reese is forever screaming the praises of this game. And if you haven't beat this game, he flips out on you straight up. And that's what gets me. I'm like you guys. Like I'm excited for Sports Story. That came out of nowhere, and I was like, oh man, I can't wait. I can't wait. Oh! What's the next game? Okay, so the next game from Twin Motion, Dead Cells. I think Dead Cells is hands down one of the most coolest games that I played on the Switch anywhere. Just the fact that it takes a genre that you're not really expecting, a Metroidvania, and then puts it in with a roguelike. And like you're going into this game thinking like, yeah, man, there's no way that this game is like anything super special. And then oh my god, it is. It like just floors you with the uncanniness of it. Like how to steal. I'm gonna rip off somebody that ripped off somebody else.
Fast and fluid.
The game is like fast and fluid, and I just think it's fantastic how they take this style and you get in and you start to feel like a god. And you start wrecking people, and then within a second, you're down to like mere mortal. Like they just have this ability to raise you up, and then just chew you up and spit you out in a second. Game is so tough, but yet so rewarding when you play it. So for me, that's definitely what is it, number 3 on my list. I love it. I think it's unbelievable. I got 2 more games on my top 5 list on the Switch. I think anybody that knows me already knows probably what 1 or 2 of those are, but we'll see.
Listen, I like to get a question block anytime. You guys stop stealing all the question blocks.
Alright, number 2 indie game on the Switch is Shovel Knight. And I know it originally didn't launch on the Switch, but it became a Switch game by proxy. Sells the best on the Switch, sold the best over everywhere on the Switch. The fact of what they did, the way they continue to support this game over years from the original launch and continue to add new stuff to it, and Treasure Trove hit the Switch at launch. Fantastic game. They did so many great things with this game, and I feel like it can't really be, not enough can be really said about how great the game is. I think that what Yacht Club was able to accomplish with it, like right out the gates, the first game that they make, they basically turn around and make an iconic character that for the rest of the time will be like thought of and remembered, and like everybody's gonna be like Shovel Knight, definitely one of my favorites. I have Shovel Knight statue behind me on the shelf back there. I love that game. I think that they did such a great game, great thing with it. They were able to really knock it out the park. But I think that the moveset and everything that Shovel Knight is able to accomplish is like no other, really. If we're being honest, like just the fact that they're able to take, like I said, right out the gates, able to take some stuff that's very nostalgic, makes people love it. The fact that we kind of get like a DuckTales feel to it, the fact that we get like a Zelda 2 feel to it, a Mega Man feel to it. Like I was playing the other night on stream, and I was saying to you guys, like, hey man, this feels like Mega Man. It feels like DuckTales. It feels like Zelda. Like this is just amazing stuff that they were able to accomplish with it. But I don't think that, many games, let alone a first-time studio, would be able to accomplish something like this. I think that there's something to be said about that you take a game that, like, nobody's even heard of, and they just set the gaming world on its ear. So, I think what they were able to accomplish is pretty impressive. So that's my, oh, what the hell? That's my thoughts on, come on, Pixel. Get out of here with that nonsense. That's my thoughts on Shovel Knight. Alright, so, now we're down. We will be down in a second here to number one. The number one game, indie game, I feel, on the Switch. I don't feel like there's any game that does it right like this, and that's SteamWorld Dig 2. I feel like SteamWorld Dig 2 is a home run by Image of Form. They took everything that I loved about the original Dig and just ramped it up and really knocked it out the park. And by God, hit a home run with that game. Like, seriously killed it with that game. And my thing is this. I would be as bold as to say that I love Dig 1 just as much as I love Dig 2. But my thing is, like, they implement all this stuff to just make you feel amazing in that game. And you slowly take the style of Metroidvania to a whole nother level in that game. You go and you find all these different secret rooms and different weapons, and they make stuff, like, so amazing about it. Graphically, they ramped it up compared to the original Dig. Everything just got, oh my God! Everything just got so much better with that game. I love the character Dorothy. I think that, I loved her in Dig 1, but I love Dorothy in Dig 2. I think that she's a great protagonist in that game. There's so much that, there's so much good that I can say. I love the fact that it, like, also puts everything in a timeline perspective for you. So, like, if you've played all three of the SteamWorld games, it basically, like, gets you on the perspective of, they took Dig 1, they said this is where Dig 1 is placed. They took Heist, and they were like, this is where Heist is in the timeline. Then they go back to Dig 2, which in theory is, behind Heist, and goes, oh, this is where this game goes. So I love what they were able to accomplish. So that's my top 5. That's my top 5 indie games on the Nintendo Switch.